Morning, guys. Okay, so today's video is going to be a 6-month update on my Miata. I've had this car for 6 months. The time flew by. Put a lot of miles on the car during that time period. So in this video, I'm going to give my top 5 likes about the car and my top 5 dislikes. Let's jump in. Before we get started, I gotta get a workout in. So I got my protein cookie, got a little caffeine action. It's my first time trying this Celsius, the Peach Vibes. I think this is like a new summer flavor. Super excited. So I'm gonna give you guys a little taste test too. Okay, so quickly change locations. I'm at the gym. Gonna go ahead and get this taste test started. So let's go ahead and pop this bad boy open. Let's pick up some Peach Vibes. Cheers. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's very peachy. It's got a nice summer vibe to it. So I think this is my new flavor. Like for the summer, this is it, man. This is really good. See you guys after the gym. Okay, so here we are. We finally found a location. Go ahead and jump into this video. So I've had my Miata for 6 months now. And over the course of that period, I've put over 10,000 miles on the car, and I just want to discuss that a little bit. I would say that the majority of those miles came from driving back and forth to school. My school is about 4 hours away from my house, which is like 260 miles. So just going back and forth, that's over 500 miles on the car. And since November, I have been like back and forth quite a bit. Also, I think the Miata is that car for me. When I say that car, I mean the car that really plants the seed and inspires you as a car enthusiast. For me, the Miata is just a car that I like to drive. I enjoy spending time in the car. I enjoy driving it. You know, it's just a bunch of fun. And I'm of the philosophy that every car enthusiast has that car. And by that car, I mean the car that you don't care about how many miles you put on it. You don't care how much gas costs. You don't care about any of that. All you care about is driving the car and enjoying it. You know, it's pure fun. It's pure joy. You don't see the car as an investment. You don't see the car as, a drain on your wallet. You simply see it as the work of art that it is. And the Miata is that for me. With that said, let's go ahead and jump into my top 5 likes about the car. I would say the number one thing that I like about the car is the reliability. As I've said, I've put over 10,000 miles on my Miata, and I haven't had any issues. The only thing that I've really done to the car is change the oil and put gas in it. That's it, and I think that's like a huge advantage over any sports car. You're not gonna get that in your Porsche, you're not gonna get that in your Audi, or name any other brand, you're not gonna get that. And with the Miata, that's pretty commonplace. This isn't a fluke. It's a super reliable car. I currently have just over 81,000 miles on my car. So with that said, I'll be doing routine maintenance. You know, I'll be changing the brake pads, the rotors, changing the oil. Nothing crazy, just simple maintenance. I think the Miata is the greatest value of a sports car because of its reliability. Not only did they make a bunch, parts are cheap, the car doesn't cost a lot to start with, but once you have the car, it's not going to cost you a lot to keep it on the road, and that's huge. The next thing that I love about my Miata is the driving experience. The car is simply perfect. It's a very small car, very light, very nimble. The car weighs less than 2,500 pounds, rear-wheel drive, convertible, perfect weight distribution. Let me show you just where the engine is in this car. The reason the Miata handles so well is because, you have the front axle right here on this line, and then you have the engine settled right behind that axle. The weight of the car is very centered, it's very well balanced. So you have your engine in the front, and the transmission is mounted in the back. So with that said, the car, all the weight is like in the middle of the car, and it's perfect for handling. I love tossing this car into corners. Simply because it stays so flat in the corners. Simply is saying that it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than it is a fast car slow. My Miata has a 4-cylinder engine making 170 horsepower. You know, I'm not winning any drag races. However, I really get to experience the car to its full capacity. I get to rev the engine all the way to, 6,000 RPM, and still be doing 40 miles per hour. You really get all the tactile feel that you want in a sports car, and you're not really breaking the law while you do it. Another huge selling point of the car is the community. When people see the Miata, their eyes simply light up. They get all giddy. It's like a child on Christmas morning, and I think that's so beautiful. This car always gets looks, it always gets stares. It's a great conversation starter. People always ask me like, oh, is that your Miata? Oh, I love the Miata, I like the convertible, how do you like the stick? Within the car community, even though it's not the most expensive car, it is super well respected simply because it's a sports car in the truest sense. It's very simple, reliable, and it handles beautifully. Now, personally, I'm not someone who likes a lot of attention, but when you bond over something that's artistically beautiful like the Miata, that's a genuine connection, and you can't get enough of that in this world and in this lifetime. So I really do love the community behind the Miata. Another thing that I love about my Miata is the simplicity of the interior. Go ahead and look at this. You have a beautiful 3-spoke steering wheel. You have some controls on the wheel, but nothing crazy. You have all your gauges. Everything that you need is right in front of you. You have your radio, climate control, gear shift, glove box, and another storage compartment. Release the top up here, and that's it. It's a very simple interior. There's no thrills and frills. It's truly a driver's car. The interior is just perfectly laid out. It's very basic. Anyone can get behind the wheel and know what they're doing. There's just immense beauty within simplicity. And the last thing that I love about my Miata is the sound system. For a convertible and for a car at this price point, I really wasn't expecting much, but the Miata definitely packs a punch well above its weight class. Here you have 2 speakers within the door, same thing on the passenger side. A speaker mounted up here in the dash, and then you have 2 speakers right here between the passengers, and it really provides that surround sound experience. And quite frankly, that wasn't something that I was expecting out of this car, but I love rolling around with the top down, blasting my music. It sounds fantastic. So the sound system is a really big reason why I love the Miata. Okay, so I've talked about why I like the Miata. I've given you 5 reasons why I like it. Now I'm going to dive into some reasons why I don't exactly love the car, or where it could be better. So the first thing that I don't exactly love about the Miata is the quality of the materials. This is a pretty common wear item. This is like the side bolster on the driver's seat. So as you get into the car, you brush up against this a lot. When I bought the car, this rip was not here, but over the course of 10,000 miles, it has appeared. Honestly, not that surprised, but kind of annoying. It's going to be a common wear item throughout the lifetime of the car. Additionally, it's pretty plastic fantastic. Now, I understand for this price point of about $30,000, you're not going to get real leather, but, I think the materials simply could be better within the car. I've gone ahead and thrown the top up just to continue to speak on the materials. Granted, my car is a 2013, it's produced in December of 2012, so it's about 10 years old. But, so the top is something that you're going to have to replace. That is a common wear item, but as you can see, I've got a rip here. It's time for me to either replace the top or do some repairs. I have a similar rip here over on this side. This is actually a hole, not just a rip. Thankfully, the top isn't leaking, but it does need some repairs. But I think overall, over the course of 10 years, to only need, a few repairs, that is pretty good, quite frankly. Another con that I have for the Miata is the ride height. Quite frankly, I would say this is probably the most daily drivable, easily usable car that you can buy that's a sports car. However, with any car this low, you're going to pick up rock chips. I'm going to zoom in so you all can see, but those little white specks here on my bumper cover, those are all rock chips. And quite frankly, that's very unfortunate. However, now I've learned my lesson. The Miata is my first sports car, and now I understand why so many YouTubers, the first thing that they do when they buy a car is put a clear bra on it. Because when you buy a sports car, the car is super low and you're going to pick up a lot of rock chips. But now I've learned my lesson. Whenever you buy a sports car, put a clear bra on it immediately in order to protect the paint and protect that bumper cover. Now, given that the Miata isn't worth a lot and they made a bunch of them, it's really not that big of a deal. It's just kind of annoying. You live and you learn. I've definitely learned my lesson. Okay, so that's gonna go ahead and be the end of this video. I'll wrap it up here. I appreciate you guys watching the video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow, helps with the algorithm, and it helps keep me motivated to continue to create content for you all. So with that said, I'll see you in the next one. Don't be late.